History is full of secrets, and some of them still have no answers. From lost civilizations to strange messages carved in stone, there are mysteries that puzzle scientists even today.
Now, what if the truth is stranger than fiction?
Stay tuned, because today we are counting down the top 10 historical mysteries that remain unsolved. The lost city of Atlantis. For thousands of years, people have spoken about a city so advanced, so rich, and so powerful that it became the stuff of legends. This city is called Atlantis. The first time the world heard about it was more than 2,000 years ago in the writings of the Greek philosopher Plato. He described Atlantis as a mighty island nation that existed about 9,000 years before his time. According to Plato, Atlantis had grand palaces, temples covered in gold, and advanced technology far ahead of other civilizations. But one day, the entire city was swallowed by the sea in just a single night and disappeared forever. The story of Atlantis has fascinated historians, explorers, and even treasure hunters for centuries. Many believe Atlantis was only a myth, a story Plato invented to teach lessons about pride and power. Others argue that it may have been a real place that sank due to a natural disaster like a massive earthquake or tsunami. Some researchers suggest that Atlantis could be the memory of ancient cities such as Santorini in Greece, which was destroyed by a volcanic eruption around 1600 BCE, but the mystery remains unsolved, because no solid evidence has ever been found. Over the years, explorers have searched for Atlantis in the Atlantic Ocean, the Mediterranean Sea, the Caribbean, and even Antarctica. Yet no one has discovered ruins that match Plato's description. Every time new underwater ruins are found, some claim it must be Atlantis, but experts usually disagree. Still, the legend refuses to die. The mystery of Atlantis continues to inspire books, movies, and even video games. Some people say it was not just a city but the home of a lost advanced civilization, maybe even aliens. Others think the story is simply a warning about how human greed and arrogance can lead to destruction. So why does Atlantis capture our imagination so much? Maybe it's because the idea of a beautiful advanced world vanishing overnight feels both scary and exciting. It makes us wonder, could something like that happen to us today? If a whole civilization could disappear without leaving a trace, then how many more lost worlds are hidden beneath the oceans? Until solid proof is found, the lost city of Atlantis will remain one of history's greatest mysteries, an unsolved riddle that keeps us dreaming, searching, and questioning the past. The pyramids of Egypt. The pyramids of Egypt are some of the most famous monuments in the world. Built more than 4,500 years ago, they rise high above the desert sands and stand as a symbol of ancient power and mystery. The Great Pyramid of Giza, the largest of them all, was once the tallest human-made structure on Earth for thousands of years. Even today, no visit to Egypt feels complete without standing in front of these giant wonders. But the real question is, how were they built? Historians and scientists agree that the pyramids were built during the time of the pharaohs, as grand tombs for their afterlife. But what confuses experts is the incredible precision and effort it would have taken to build them. Each block of stone weighs between 2 to 80 tons, and there are millions of them. Somehow, workers moved these blocks from faraway quarries and placed them perfectly into position without the help of modern machines. Imagine trying to carry a block heavier than an elephant without cranes or trucks. Some say tens of thousands of workers built the pyramids using wooden sledges, ropes, and ramps. But the truth is, no one has ever found the exact plans or tools that explain how it was done. There are many theories. One idea suggests that giant ramps of mud brick were built to drag the stones into place. Another theory suggests that workers used a system of pulleys and levers. Some researchers even believe that water was poured on sand to make it firm and slippery, allowing the heavy stones to slide more easily. Still, none of these theories fully answer the mystery. The precision of the pyramids is another puzzle. The Great Pyramid is aligned almost perfectly with the points of the compass north, south, east, and west. How could ancient builders without satellites or compasses achieve such accuracy? Some people believe they studied the stars carefully and used them as guides. Others think they had secret knowledge that has been lost through time. And then there are the more unusual theories. Some claim that aliens must have helped build the pyramids, because the level of skill seems to advance for the time. While most historians dismiss this idea, it shows just how mysterious the pyramids really are. What makes the pyramids even more fascinating is that they have lasted for thousands of years, surviving storms, earthquakes, and even invasions. They remain as solid and majestic today as they did in ancient times, a true wonder of the world. The pyramids are not just stone structures. They are a reminder of human ambition, creativity, and mystery. They raise questions about what humans are truly capable of, even without modern technology. Did the ancient Egyptians know something we don't? Or are the pyramids simply proof that determination and teamwork can achieve the impossible? Until the day we discover exact evidence, the pyramids of Egypt will continue to stand as one of history's most breathtaking and unsolved mysteries. Stonehenge in the quiet countryside of England, there stands a circle of giant stones that has puzzled people for thousands of years. This place is called Stonehenge. At first glance, it may look like a random group of rocks, but in reality, it is one of the most mysterious monuments ever built. Historians believe Stonehenge was constructed around 5,000 years ago, during the late Stone Age, long before machines, electricity, or even written history in Britain. But the biggest mystery is, why was it built? And how did people move those enormous stones? Stonehenge is made of two types of stones. The larger ones are called sarsens and can weigh up to 25 tons each. The smaller ones are known as bluestones, which still weigh several tons. What makes it even stranger is that the bluestones came from mountains in Wales, almost 150 miles away. Imagine trying to drag such heavy rocks over rivers, hills, and forests without trucks or cranes. Some experts think the stones were rolled on logs, while others believe they were dragged on sledges. Another theory suggests that the stones were floated on rafts through rivers. Yet no one truly knows the exact method, as the layout of Stonehenge is just as mysterious. The stones are placed in a circle and aligned with the movement of the sun. For example, on the summer solstice, the longest day of the year, the sun rises directly over a special stone called the heel stone. This has led many to believe that Stonehenge was built as a kind of calendar, helping ancient people track the seasons for farming. Others say it was a temple for sun worship or a sacred place for ceremonies, but there are even more theories. Some believe Stonehenge was used as a burial ground, since human bones had been found nearby. Others suggest it was a healing site, where people came hoping for cures to illnesses. And of course, there are the wild ideas that aliens or giants may have helped move the stones. While most scientists don't agree with these, the fact that no one knows the full truth keeps the mystery alive. Over the centuries, Stonehenge has captured the imagination of travelers, poets, and scientists. Even today, thousands of people gather there during the solstices to celebrate and witness the sunrise or sunset in perfect alignment with the stones. The energy of the place feels special, almost magical, as if it holds secrets from an ancient world that we may never fully understand. What makes Stonehenge so fascinating is that it shows how determined and clever early humans were. They had no modern tools, yet they managed to build something that still stands after thousands of years. It proves that ancient people were far more advanced than we often imagine. Until solid evidence is discovered, the true purpose of Stonehenge will remain a mystery. Was it a temple, a calendar, a burial site, or something else entirely? One thing is certain, Stonehenge will always inspire wonder and curiosity, reminding us of how much we still don't know about our own past. The Nazca Lines. Deep in the deserts of southern Peru lies one of the strangest mysteries in human history, the Nazca Lines. These are enormous drawings or geoglyphs, carved into the ground more than 1,500 years ago by the Nazca people. At first, you might think they are just random lines in the sand, but when you look at them from above, you realize they form giant pictures of animals, plants, and shapes. Some of the most famous designs include a hummingbird, a monkey, a spider, and even what looks like a giant astronaut. What makes the Nazca Lines so mysterious is their size. Some of the figures are hundreds of feet long, stretching across the desert floor. For example, the hummingbird drawing is about 300 feet long, almost the size of 3 football fields. These designs are so big that they cannot be fully recognized from the ground. You can only see their shapes clearly from an airplane or a nearby hill. But here's the problem. The Nazca people had no planes, no helicopters, and no drones. So why did they create something they couldn't even see properly themselves? Scientists believe the lines were made by removing the top layer of reddish-brown desert stones, revealing the lighter-colored sand underneath. The dry climate of Peru helped preserve the lines for centuries, as there is little rain or wind to erase them. But their exact purpose is still a mystery. Some experts think the Nazca lines were part of religious rituals. Since many of the drawings are animals linked to water or fertility, it's possible they were made to ask the gods for rain in the dry desert. Others believe the lines were used as an astronomical calendar, helping the Nazca people mark the movement of the sun, moon, and stars. Some of the lines do line up with the sunrise during solstices, which adds weight to this theory. Of course, there are also more unusual ideas. Some people claim the Nazca lines were landing strips for alien spaceships, pointing to the astronaut figure as proof. Others suggest the Nazca people may have had simple hot air balloons, allowing them to see the lines from above. While these theories sound exciting, there is no solid evidence to support them. What makes the Nazca lines even more fascinating is that they have survived for more than 1,000 years. Despite earthquakes, desert winds, and the passage of time, the drawings are still visible today. They remind us of how creative and intelligent ancient cultures were, even without modern tools. The Nazca lines are not just mysterious, they are also beautiful. They show us how humans have always wanted to connect with something greater, whether it's the gods, the stars, or even the universe itself. Until we uncover their true purpose, the Nazca lines will remain one of the greatest unsolved puzzles in history, leaving us to wonder. What message were the Nazca people trying to send? The Voynich Manuscript, hidden in the library of Yale University, is a book that has left scientists and codebreakers scratching their heads for over a century. This strange book is called the Voynich Manuscript, and it is often called the world's most mysterious book, written in the early 1400s. It is filled with pages of odd drawings and strange writing that no one has ever been able to understand. At first glance, the book looks beautiful. Its pages are decorated with colorful plants, stars, and even strange human figures. But here's the mystery. None of the plants match any real species we know today. Some pages show women bathing in odd green pools connected by pipes, as if describing some kind of unknown science or ritual. There are also strange astronomical diagrams with suns, moons, and stars, but they don't match real constellations. Even more confusing is the text. The entire manuscript is written in an unknown alphabet, with symbols and letters that don't belong to any known language. For more than 500 years, nobody has been able to read it. Experts have tried every trick, comparing it to ancient languages, running it through computers, even testing if it's just nonsense. But every time, the answer is the same. It remains unreadable. So, who wrote the Voynich Manuscript and why? Some people think it might have been the work of a medieval alchemist or scientist who created the book to record secret knowledge. Others believe it was simply a clever hoax, a made-up book created to trick kings or scholars into buying it. But tests on the pages and ink prove that the book really is from the 1400s, so it's not just a modern fake. The mystery has grown even deeper over the years. Famous codebreakers, including those who cracked enemy codes during World War II, have tried to solve it, but failed. Even powerful computers cannot fully decode the writing. Some theories suggest the book was written in a lost language or in a secret code known only to its author. Others go further, suggesting it contains knowledge from an unknown civilization or even aliens. In recent years, scientists have used advanced scanning techniques to study the manuscript. They have discovered hidden details in the ink and patterns that suggest it really does follow rules like a real language. But without a key to translate it, the meaning stays locked away. The Voynich Manuscript is not just a book, it's a doorway to the unknown. Every page makes us wonder what secrets it hides. Could it be ancient medical knowledge, guide to lost plants and cures, or simply the imagination of a brilliant but mysterious writer, till the day someone finally cracks its code? The Voynich Manuscript will remain one of history's most baffling and unsolved mysteries. The Bermuda Triangle. Few places on Earth have a reputation as mysterious as the Bermuda Triangle. This area of the Atlantic Ocean, shaped like a triangle between Florida, Bermuda, and Puerto Rico, has been the subject of countless strange stories. Ships and airplanes have disappeared here without explanation, and legends say it's one of the most dangerous places on the planet. But is it really Cursador? Is it just misunderstood? The mystery of the Bermuda Triangle became famous in the mid-20th century. when newspapers began reporting unusual cases of missing ships and planes. One of the most famous incidents was in 1945, when 5 U.S. Navy planes, known as Flight 19, vanished during a training mission. A rescue plane sent to search for them also disappeared. None of the planes were ever found. Over the years, dozens of other ships and aircraft have supposedly met the same fate, fueling the idea that something strange is happening there. So, what could be causing these disappearances? Some people think natural explanations are to blame. The Bermuda Triangle is known for sudden storms, strong ocean currents, unpredictable waves that can reach incredible heights. Ships caught in these conditions might sink without warning. Others suggest human air pilots and captains may have made mistakes in navigation. In fact, the area is one of the busiest shipping and flight zones in the world, so accidents are bound to happen. Still, not everyone is satisfied with those answers. Over the years, more unusual theories have appeared. Some believe that the Bermuda Triangle is home to a magnetic force that messes with compasses and causes pilots to lose their way. Others say it could be a portal to another dimension, swallowing ships and planes into another world. And of course, there are the theories about aliens. Many people think extraterrestrials might be using the triangle as a base, taking ships and planes for study. Scientists, however, remain skeptical. They argue that the number of accidents in the Bermuda Triangle is no higher than in other busy parts of the ocean. They also point out that many stories about the triangle have been exaggerated or even made up to sell books and movies. In fact, insurance companies do not charge ships or airlines more money for traveling through the Bermuda Triangle, which suggests it isn't more dangerous than anywhere else. But despite scientific explanations, the legend of the Bermuda Triangle refuses to die. The idea that there is a part of the Earth where normal rules don't apply is simply too fascinating to ignore. From Hollywood films to adventure novels, the Bermuda Triangle has captured the imagination of millions. So what's the truth? Maybe it's just a dangerous area with unpredictable weather. Maybe human mistakes explain the losses. Or maybe, just maybe, something beyond our understanding is at work in those mysterious waters, until all the missing ships and planes are explained. The Bermuda Triangle will remain one of history's greatest unsolved mysteries. The Shroud of Turin, in a cathedral in Turin, Italy, lies one of the most debated religious artifacts in the world, the Shroud of Turin. This is a long piece of linen cloth that appears to show the faint image of a man's face and body. Many believe this man to be Jesus Christ, making the shroud one of the holiest relics of Christianity. But here's the mystery. No one knows exactly where it came from, how the image was created, or if it's even real. The shroud first appeared in historical records in the 14th century, though some believers say it may be much older, dating back to the time of Jesus. When you look closely at it, you can see what looks like bloodstains and wounds matching the crucifixion story told in the Bible, marks on the hands, feet, and side. This has led millions of people to believe the shroud was the burial cloth of Jesus himself. However, scientists are not so sure. In 1988, experts tested small samples of the fabric using radiocarbon dating. Their results suggested the shroud was made between the years 1260 and 1390, meaning it could not possibly date back to the time of Jesus. This shocked believers, but the mystery did not end there. Critics of the test argued that the samples may have been taken from repaired areas of the cloth, making the results inaccurate. Even stranger is the image itself, as the figure on the shroud is not painted or drawn. Modern tests show that the image is not made from pigments, dyes, or brushstrokes. Instead, it looks like the cloth fibers themselves are somehow discolored, almost as if they were burned by a burst of energy. No one has been able to fully explain how such an image could be created with medieval technology. Some scientists have tried to recreate the effect with heat, chemicals, and even lasers, but none have been successful in matching the original. This has opened the door to many theories. Some believe the image was made by a natural chemical reaction between the body and the cloth. Others think it was the work of a clever artist in the Middle Ages. And then there are those who believe it truly is a miraculous imprint, left by the resurrection of Jesus Christ. The Shroud of Turin has been studied more than almost any other artifact in history, yet it remains unsolved. Millions of people still travel to Turin to see it, and every new investigation seems to raise more questions than answers. Is it a brilliant forgery, a natural phenomenon, or a genuine holy relic? What makes the shroud so powerful is not just the mystery of science, but also the power of faith. For some, it is absolute proof of Jesus' existence and sacrifice. For others, it's simply a fascinating puzzle that science has yet to explain. Either way, the Shroud of Turin remains one of history's most haunting and unsolved mysteries. Bridging the line between faith, history, and science, the lost Roanoke Colony in the late 1500s. English settlers tried to build one of the first colonies in North America on Roanoke Island, which is now part of North Carolina, USA. But what happened there has become one of the greatest unsolved mysteries in American history, the story of the lost Roanoke Colony. In 1587, more than 100 settlers, including men, women, and children, set out from England to build a new life in the New World. They were led by Governor John White. At first, the colony seemed to be doing fine, but soon they faced food shortages and conflict with local Native American tribes. To get more supplies, John White sailed back to England. Unfortunately, a war between England and Spain kept him from returning quickly. It was not until 3 years later, in 1590, that he finally made it back to Roanoke Island. When John White arrived, he was shocked. The entire colony had vanished. Houses were empty, no bodies were found, and the people were gone without a trace. The only clue left behind was the word Croatoan, carved into a wooden post. Another carving, the letters Crow, was found on a nearby tree. But there was no sign of struggle, no sign of where the settlers had gone. So what really happened to the colonists of Roanoke? One theory is that the settlers moved to nearby Croatoan Island, now called Hatteras Island, and blended in with friendly Native American tribes. Another idea is that they were attacked by hostile tribes or died from disease and starvation. Some researchers think they may have tried to sail back to England on their own but got lost at sea. The mystery deepens because no one has ever found solid evidence. Later, settlers reported seeing Native Americans with light skin, blue eyes, or English-style clothing, leading to the theory that some survivors may have married into local tribes. Modern DNA studies are still being done to see if any Native American groups have English ancestry from the lost colony. The story of Roanoke has fascinated people for centuries because it feels like a ghost story. Imagine an entire community, men, women, and children, vanishing without leaving behind even a single grave. The carvings Croatoan and Crow only make the mystery creepier. Were they a clue, a desperate message, or something else entirely? The lost Roanoke Colony remains a powerful reminder of how dangerous and uncertain life was for early settlers in the New World. It also shows us how easily history can be lost. To this day, archaeologists continue to search for answers, digging for artifacts and signs of where the colonists might have gone. But until solid proof is found, Roanoke will stay one of the greatest unsolved mysteries in history. Jack the Ripper in the foggy streets of London during the year 1888. A shadowy figure terrified the entire city. This figure was never caught, never identified, and became known only by a chilling name: Jack the Ripper. To this day, he remains one of the most famous criminals in history and one of the greatest unsolved mysteries. Jack the Ripper is believed to have murdered at least 5 women in the Whitechapel district of London. These crimes were brutal and shocking, especially for the time. Newspapers of the day printed frightening details, and soon the whole world was talking about the mysterious killer who seemed to appear and vanish like a ghost. The crimes were so gruesome and unusual that many believed only a doctor, butcher, or someone with medical knowledge could have done them. The mystery grew even deeper because Jack the Ripper also seemed to taunt the police. Letters were sent to local newspapers and authorities, supposedly from the killer himself. One of the most famous was signed from hell. Whether or not all the letters were real is still debated, but they made the case even scarier. The police tried everything: patrols, investigations, questioning suspects, but despite their efforts, Jack the Ripper was never caught. So who was he? Over the years, hundreds of theories have been suggested. Some say Jack the Ripper was a doctor with medical skills. Since the crimes showed knowledge of anatomy, others believe he was a local butcher, a sailor, or even a member of the royal family. Some modern researchers have suggested names based on DNA evidence from clothing found at the crime scenes, but nothing has ever been proven beyond doubt. The mystery of Jack the Ripper is not just about who he was, it's also about why he was never caught. London in the 1800s was crowded, dirty, and poorly lit at night. The police did not have modern tools like fingerprints, DNA tests, or security cameras. In fact, many of the records from the time were poorly kept, and some evidence has been lost forever. This makes it nearly impossible to solve the case today. Jack the Ripper has since become more than just a name. He has become a symbol of fear, mystery, and the darker side of human nature. Books, movies, and documentaries still explore his story, each one offering new theories but never reaching a final answer. What makes this mystery so powerful is that it is both terrifying and unsolvable. The idea that one person could terrorize an entire city and then vanish without a trace feels like something out of a nightmare. More than 130 years later, the case is still open in people's minds, with new theories appearing every year. Until the day real evidence is discovered, Jack the Ripper will remain one of history's darkest and most haunting mysteries. Was he a doctor, a butcher, or just an ordinary man hiding in plain sight? The truth may never be known. The Zodiac Killer in the late 1960s and early 1970s, fear spread across California as a mysterious criminal known as the Zodiac Killer carried out a series of brutal attacks. Like Jack the Ripper before him, the Zodiac became infamous not only for his crimes, but also for the way he mocked the police and the public. To this day, his true identity has never been discovered, making him one of history's most haunting, unsolved mysteries. The Zodiac is confirmed to have attacked at least 7 people, killing 5 of them. But he claimed in his letters that he had killed dozens more. What set him apart was not just the crimes, but his strange and chilling messages. The Zodiac sent letters to local newspapers, filled with threats, riddles, and coded symbols. These ciphers, as they are called, looked like strange patterns of shapes and letters. He demanded the newspapers print them, or he threatened to continue killing. One of the most famous ciphers, known as the 408 cipher, was solved by a couple just days after it was sent. It revealed a disturbing message in which the Zodiac bragged about enjoying killing, but other ciphers remain unsolved even today, including the famous 340 cipher, which wasn't cracked until 2020 by a team of amateur codebreakers using powerful computers. Still, even that code did not reveal his name, only more taunts. Over the years, police investigated hundreds of suspects. Some names come up again and again, like Arthur Lee Allen, a man who matched descriptions and had suspicious behavior, but no solid evidence ever connected him or anyone else to the crimes. In fact, DNA samples taken from letters and crime scenes have been tested many times, but they have never provided a clear answer about who the Zodiac really was. The mystery of the Zodiac Killer is so enduring because it combines fear with puzzles. Unlike most criminals, he seemed to enjoy playing games with the police, leaving behind riddles as if daring the world to catch him. Some people believe he was a genius criminal who carefully covered his tracks. Others think he may have died or disappeared before the police could catch him. The Zodiac's crimes inspired books, documentaries, and even Hollywood movies, all trying to piece together the clues. But no matter how many times the evidence is studied, the case never seems to reach a final answer. Even retired detectives and amateur sleuths continue to investigate, hoping to one day uncover the truth. The question remains, who was the Zodiac Killer? Was he one of the suspects police investigated, or was he someone completely unknown, blending into the crowd while the world searched for him, till the day undeniable evidence comes forward? The Zodiac Killer will remain one of history's most chilling and unsolved mysteries. And that's our list of the top 10 historical mysteries still unsolved. Which of these mysteries do you think will ever be solved on? Which ones will remain secrets forever? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. We love hearing your ideas. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, subscribe to our channel for more amazing stories from history and beyond. And make sure to hit the bell icon so you never miss our latest videos. Thank you for watching, and until next time, keep exploring the mysteries of the past.